Huzaifah is just a normal, happy little boy, if I'm being honest. That, you know, he's a fantastic kid, he's very funny, he loves gaming, he loves sports, he loves being outside. He is a supporter of Birmingham City Football Club, to be honest. I don't know how he's got onto that. We need to work on that, but we'll see what happens at some point. Huzaifah was born an absolutely normal baby. He crawled at a normal time, he stood up and walked at a normal, what you class as normal. And he got to about 6 or 7 months, and that's when we started to notice that when he's excited, he showed excitement in a bit of a different way. About 18 months is when he really started to show that his Huzaifah obviously has some sort of issues at somewhere. We pushed it at nursery, and I was told at nursery I've been a stressful parent. It wasn't the best journey, if I'm being honest, and it did take us a long while to get to where we are now. We had to go and see a psychologist. We came into school a number of occasions. We went out to see a paediatrician, and they obviously then gave their varying reports. And then when he got to about 7 or 8, that's when we got an official diagnosis that he's on the spectrum. The first couple of months were really difficult, if I'm being honest. It's hard to accept and understand, because it's not accepting, I think it's understanding what the issues are. And once we got past the point of realising that, you know what, he's Huzaifah and this is the way he is, you know, this is the way he is, it was absolutely fine, to be honest. But the first few months were very, very difficult for us to accept as a family.
We're a church school in Spark Hill, so we're serving a predominantly Muslim community, and our school is all about community cohesion and looking at actually how we're all different, but we are all the same as well.
One of the really main important things for us was for Huzaifah to stay at St John's. We know everybody around the area, have lived here for a long time, it's very close, so it's obviously travelling's not a problem, but just somewhere where he's going to feel familiar with the people around him, and it was just a really, really good school, and that was my main reason for choosing St John's. Was it's a fantastic school to be at. One of the main concerns for us, obviously, when he did come to St John's was he going to be able to fit in, and is he going to have a normal school life? But like I said before, St John's was so adapting, and when we came in we knew he had certain issues, but they understood this and they made certain changes for him to get him to be involved in a normal school day, so that was really important to us.
We've got children with all manner of need, and they're just kids, and the other children, you know, they don't see them as, oh, he's special over there, he's special. And so you see children looking after each other, you see them supporting each other, they grow in that whole service to others value, which I think is just amazing.
I think just being around his friends and being in an environment that he knows really well, that calms him down and it makes him feel really comfortable. So being at St John's, it enabled him to be with people that he knows, and I think that made his life a lot easier, to be honest, and that's, for me, one of the main reasons why I wanted to keep him here at this school.
St John's are great in the fact that they look at the whole school approach, so I've done training for the whole school. Each year we have a training for the whole school.
I felt it was really important that everybody had an understanding of how autism can be so different, so varied, and the kind of traits that all autistic people show, so that we could be more proactive around meeting their needs.
We signpost some parents to our autism training course, our CAT parent awareness course, and school actually invested some of their hours in running that for this school. And what was nice about that is usually parents signposted to a CAT course that's citywide, but when they held a CAT course at St John's, it was nice because parents got to meet each other. We
went on some training, and that was actually fantastic, to be fair, because there's a lot of situations where we didn't know how to react to Huzaifah or what to do or why he's possibly behaving this way. We've also been involved in quite a lot of sort of forums and stuff. We met a few parents at some of these courses, and we've kept in contact, which is nice. It's a nice bit of support to see other people who are probably in a similar situation, and it just feels like you're not alone, to be honest, and that's a really good thing.
So we did have to change our model of dealing with special educational needs. We had an increasing number of children with quite complex needs that were difficult to meet in the classroom. We were very much one-to-one support. You would find children in the corridor with their shadow doing something completely different to whatever the class were doing. But what they don't see is the difficulties children then have in forming relationships with other children, because the grown-ups there and they're watching, and the fact that they just feel they're not good enough to be in the classroom because they've got to come outside and do special work with their special teacher. So we developed the hub, and the Senko teaches in the hub. The children with similar needs come together, and they can be across the school. So we've got someone in year 6 and someone in year 1 who for some of the time in the hub are together. So we've got some continuous provision going on so that always there is the environment that's the teacher.
We do concentrate on our writing and our reading and our maths, and we pitch it at a level that's obviously appropriate for them. But then we do other things as well. So we have special weeks where we might focus on life skills. So for example, we might learn how to make a bed, or we might do some cooking like we've done today. We do lots of focusing on the confidence and the speaking and the listening to each other is really beneficial as well. You know, we have had conversations in the past where before the hub where we've had to think whether is this the right setting for Huzaifah going forward, not just for Huzaifah, other children with complex needs. And the fact that we've rethought how we do things and are able to fulfill his needs here has been the real bonus, the real plus, the real amazing thing that we've been able to do.
So that the children who are part of the hub have their lessons in the morning, so they've got that specialist approach, they've got a routine, and then in the afternoon they go back into their classrooms so that they're with the rest of their peers doing topic work and PE and all of those things as well. So I think it's a perfect combination. They've got the foot in, you know, more specialised approach, but then they're also with their peers and they're part of the primary school, which is great.
He really loves learning. And he loves being involved in what the class is doing. I think it's really helpful for the other children to know his needs as well, and obviously because they've grown up with him, they know his needs probably better than I do in some cases. So often if we come in after lunch and we'll just read for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I normally have at least 5 offers of help to say, can I go and read with Huzaifah, or he can read to me, or whatever, and that's just incredible. And I don't know if you'd have that same caring attitude if you didn't have a child like Huzaifah in your class that needed some extra support.
So for the children it's really beneficial because they have almost that dual identity between being in the hub and then also being in the mainstream classroom with their peers, and also the fact that they're then included in everyday life within school. So then the children in the mainstream classrooms actually really benefit from seeing the differences and the different needs in school, and I think that's really great for them to see. We work really hard as a school to make sure that they understand differences, and that, you know, it doesn't matter if people think differently, you know, maybe they look slightly different. Actually we celebrate the fact that we have all of those differences in school.
Huzaifah, I mean, he's been with us since he was teeny tiny, and he's part of the St John's family. He has got complex needs, but they are needs we can meet here.
I don't have that much to do with Huzaifah now, apart from annual reviews, because he's getting what he needs. St John's, you know, the hub, the whole school ethos, you know, actually he doesn't need CAT support that much now because things are in place and he's making progress.
Huzaifah is absolutely fantastic. I'm not just saying this because he's my son. He's an amazing child. He's very funny. He's so loving and kind, and he's hard work, but he's an amazing little boy, to be honest. I'm very proud of him.
Listen to me, I might have something